morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another opportunity of 7 minutes at 7 a.m. I get the opportunity to do this some select Mondays and Fridays. Get the opportunity to put a word, put a phrase, put something in your atmosphere that I believe that could help your day, maybe even your life. So, with that being said, let's go. The word we want to put in your atmosphere today is called action. Everybody say action. It is something done or performed. Beloved, 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 we have great ideas sometimes. Sometimes we have great intentions. Sometimes we have great plans. But it's the execution of the plan. It is the completion of the plan. It's the doing of the plan that matters. For those of you that are believers, I believe the words that we all want to hear is, well done, thy good and thy faithful servant. Action. Everyone say action. We always laugh about it whenever we're maybe going out and someone wants to make steak, and it's a big old deal if you say, well, I like mine well done. I said I want everything to be finalized and over with, if you know what I mean. And others says, oh, it's going to be rubbery, it's going to be hard, it's going to be whatever. I said, nah, depending on how you do it. If you know what you're doing, you can make that thing well done and not rubbery and not hard. Everyone say action. Done, 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 done. Oftentimes, where our hang up is, sometimes what we need to do collectively for our whole lives, maybe this project, or maybe the thing you're working on, or maybe this idea that you have, or maybe the dream that you have, seems so enormous. But the reality is, in order to get it completed, you got to start taking a step at a time. Everybody say a step at a time. The great Dr. King said, you just got to not worry about the whole staircase. You just take one step. Everybody say just take one step. Tony Robinson says, if there's no action, you haven't truly decided. Wow. If there is no corresponding action, you haven't truly decided. Someone was asking me a question one time. I might get in a little trouble here for this 7 minutes. About a certain circumstance they was dealing with, and they said that they knew that the individual had changed, and they knew the person was trying to get it right. And then I asked a set of questions. First set of questions is, what are their behaviors? What actions have they made? And the person says, well, they really haven't done any of that. So then I said, well, is there anything that may be preventing their action? And they says, well, I don't really think so. Then I says, okay. I never had to say much else because they knew what I meant. It meant that unless there's corresponding behaviors, unless there's something attached to it, some doneness, some doism, some done, some do, some action, nothing has changed. Tony Robinson said, you haven't really decided if you haven't had any action. Oh man, I love this. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. You can tell I like that. You get to see all of mine. You don't have to be great to start, but in order to be great, you have to start. This is Stephen Harley Jr. saying this now. I love humanity because I believe I love God, and I love what God created. I don't necessarily love how creation and humanity has what we've done with what God created, right? But I really, really have a lot of respect for individuals who had obstacle after obstacle, situation after situation, and they made something beautiful out of it. Yeah, I do appreciate people who had it all together all their lives. Yeah, I do appreciate everyone who had all of the skills from birth. Everybody who had it all together. But when I know some circumstance some of you have had, when I know the obstacles that you have overcome to get these outcomes, I applaud you, because greatness never begins with greatness. It begins with taking action, specific actions, specific movement that causes you to end up being what some would consider great. I love this. I'm with Brother Carnegie on this. As I grow older, I pay less attention to what people say. I watch what they do. I am that person. I am not from the state of Missouri, but I'm certainly from that thought that says, show me. All right. I have said this over and over again in my lifetime, but let me tell you, people can say anything to me, but their actions show me everything. Let me say that again. People can say anything to me, but their actions are showing me everything. As I get older, I pay less attention to what people say. I just watch what they do. And to go into that beautiful scripture that says, listen, faith by itself, not much of anything. Because faith without works is what? Dead. It's dead, beloved. It's dead, it's dead, it's dead, it's dead, it's dead. If there is no action, you have not had the faith. And that is really saying that if we really truly believe that God is who he is, or we believe God has given us something, or we just simply believe in whatever, whomever. The bottom line is we only know when your legs line up with your faith, right? Because faith has feet. Ha! When you really believe and you really consider, right, what's before you, your feet will testify of your faith. Your feet will testify of what you really truly believe. It's been a divine honor to be with you for these 7 minutes at 7 a.m. If this was beneficial, I invite you to hit the share button. Maybe somebody else will get benefited by this today. And if so, go ahead and hit the share button. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much for those that have tuned in today on this beautiful day called the Lord's Day. Thank you so much, my Emma. Thank you so much, my beautiful sweetheart that is tuned in today. It's been an honor. I will see you the very next time. In the meantime, you enjoy the rest of this day called the day.